Now the same thing we did for the possibilities of row and column, we're going to do the same thing for the group. So now let's go ahead and do the same thing for the group. We have the get possibilities and block, rather, right? We renamed it to block. So we're still going to have possibilities. And here we're going to say Sudoku map equals Sudoku mapper find the given row and column. So the given row and the given column. We're trying to find which block we're in. Then what we're doing is we're basically iterating. I'll show you. I actually can reuse that code, but a little differently. Essentially, we're saying that the row is Sudoku map start row, and it's going to be going all the way until Sudoku row start row plus 2. So it's only going to be going 2 over. And the same thing for the column. Start call, and then we're going to say start call plus 2. Okay, so if, once again, is valid single, the Sudoku board row and column, that's a valid single. Then possibilities, and we're going to grab Sudoku row call. We're going to come here, -1, once again, very similar, and say 0. So we're just taking that possibility out, right? You're already familiar with that. Then at the end, we're saying, okay, well, return, convert to int 32, and then say string, not strategies, string, join, and do string empty, once again, and say possibilities, select everything, where P does not equal to 0. Okay, so that actually takes care of the possibilities and block. And let me go over this real quick before I fill out the get possibility intersection. I'm going to actually put this right above this guy. There you go. So once again, we have our list of possibilities. And what we're doing is we're saying based on a given row and based on a given column. So let's say this was our given row and column, right? This would be row 0 and column 0, 1. So that would go into the Sudoku mapper and it'd be like, okay, we're in this block and the starting point of the block is 0, 0. So it's going to come here and say go from 0 to 2. So it's going to go 0, 1, 2 for the rows. And for the columns, it's going to go same thing. It's going to go 0, 1, 2. So essentially, it's only going to come from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here. And that's why we needed to get the starting point. Now you see why we needed the starting point from the Sudoku mapper. So we get that, we iterate through this block, and we find any numbers that are basically valid singles, and we're taking them out from the possibilities. And then we're putting them all back, just like the way we did in the, for the rows and the columns, and we get that back, right? And now we have all these, all this data in here. What we then do is we get the intersection of the possibilities in row and column and the possibilities in block, and we set that value to the given row column. So all we're doing really is if this is a spot, we're getting the values that it can't be here, values that it can't be here, and the values that it can't be here. And after we're left with the possibilities, we just put that possibility in that spot. That's all we're doing, okay? That's very, very simple, actually. So now let's try to get the intersection. I will say var possibilities and call. So possibilities and row and call. I will say var possibilities and row and column. Actually, let's see why this returned an object. Oh, that's because these are vars, so that's okay, because it doesn't know what type to put in, so we're actually going to manually set these to ints, which is fine. And then I will say possibilities in row and column equals, so possibilities in row and column character array equals arg possibilities in row and column, turn that to a string, and then get the character array to char array. So it's going to turn that into a character array. Then I'm going to say possibilities in block char array, once again, equals possibilities in block to string to char array. There you go. Then possibilities subset. Possibilities subset equals, so the possibilities in row and column array intersect, there you go. And once again, see, intersect is another link method. So we're already using link, but this is basically another link method. So we actually go to implementation, see, system link. It's in the same namespace, and we have all these joins, and we have first, and we have element at. We have all these great functionality that I didn't go all over this, but you know, all this we have available in link, and you know, I just wanted to show you that it's just one of them. So once again, we're going to say intersect, and we're going to pass in the group, or the block rather, character array, and it's going to give us the intersection. Now the intersection is going to give us all the values that it can be. All the zeros have been ignored, right? Because those it can't be, but all the ones that it can be will be in this possibility subset. So then what we're going to do is we're going to say return convert dot to int32, and then we're going to say string join, once again string empty, and then we're going to say possibility subset. And that easily we have our basically you know, we have our simple markup strategy. Let's actually check this out. Cannot convert from object to int, and that's okay. We are also returning objects here, and that's because you know, once again, we're passing in var, so it actually didn't know what to convert it to, and that's okay. We can just manually change that as well. We're just saying we want to return an int, not an object. You know, if we had ints here and we automatically generated the method, it would know that we want to have the return type as int. But since we said var, it's an implicitly typed. It's an implicit type, so it doesn't know what it is that you want for it, right? So it just says object, whatever it is, and it generates as object in the method signature. But you can just manually change that; it's no problem, and that's exactly what we did, and that fixed the problem. So this is our simple markup strategy. One quick thing, I just want to go over the intersection part because that might actually be confusing. So let's actually open this up, and I want to show you an example. For example, right, in this spot, we can, for the rows and the column possibility, like this guy, will turn out to be, let's actually put the values down here. It can be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's, you know, all the, you know, row and column possibilities, and this is all the group possibilities. So let's count them down. This is row and col, and this is group. Right? So in the group, it cannot be 9, 2, 8, 7. So 9 goes away, 8 goes away, 7 goes away, 2 goes away. So it can be 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the column and the row, so for this one, it can be 2 and 5 are out. And then here, it's 9, 2, 3. So 9, 2 is already gone, 3, 7, 6, 8. So it's 1, 4. Now here's the thing. The reason why we're taking the intersection between the row and column and the group is because row and column, in this case, has less possibilities. And group says, hey, it can be 3, and it can be 5, and it can be 6. But it can't be, because the row and the column say that it can't be. It might be that the row and column have more possibilities, and the group says, hey, I only have like two possibilities. In that case, we want to take the intersection, because the intersection of these two will be 1. So the intersection will be 1 and 4 of these two, right? So that's a true value that we want to get. Like, that's the truth, instead of getting 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not the truth. It can't be a 3. It can't be 6, right? If you put a 3 here, it can't be on the same row. It can be in the same block, but it can't be on the same row. So that's why we want to take the intersection. I hope that makes sense. Just wanted to clarify that because I know it can be a little bit confusing. So hopefully that makes sense. And if it does not, please leave your questions in the chat room or in the Q&A area. And I will get back to you as soon as I see it, because I want to answer all your questions so that you are not confused about anything. But that's it for now.